up my roof because I thought that I could fly. Spent 3 days in the hospital alone because I had to try. I still don't know why I'm running around chasing this dragonfly. I still don't know how. I woke up this morning with only one eyebrow. I think that my mind's a little defective. Caught up in the everyday traffic of different perspectives. Well, I need someone to call my own. Someone to help me get out of this twilight zone. I think it could be you. The look in your eyes is telling me it could be true. But if you want me to be your Romeo, well, I can't do that, but I can always be your very own superhero. You be my Lois Lane, I'll be your Superman. We'll run away, I've got a plan. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Because why?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Scott.
Hey!
Hello. Hey! Here we are again, episode whatever the hell this is, of WITticisms, and we are getting more and more professional. Is it 6? It's either that or 15.
Right? Ish?
It's 6-ish?
Could be 9, could be 6.
It's fish?
107?
I don't know.
Is
It's
that a
this
number?
one. It's this one. It's this one. So, you know, as we always wish to do as members of Wit Improv, we continue to polish and improve our shows each time.
Son? Wax off.
Wax off? Yeah. We want to make certain that we are constantly giving our listeners exactly what they want in the way that we want to present it. Because that's who we are. Yeah. Our show. It's our show. So let me introduce these crazy people who are. What a great way to start.
Hey, you lost it already.
I know.
Off the rails, Scott. Off the rails.
Dang. So let me introduce the folks who are, if you are listening, the voices that you will hear throughout the course of this episode, and if you are watching, the little people in the boxes around the screen. We have the one and only, thank God, Billy Martinez.
Hey, everybody. Never said hello like that before in my life.
Hey, everybody.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Yeah.
Mr. Tim.
Wow.
Yeah. And wearing a ridiculously dapper jacket, Mr. Vinny Natali.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Can you hear how loud that jacket is?
Looking good, Vinny. Looking good.
I like it.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Is that Tetris?
Yeah, it is Tetris. It is Tetris. You know, I was wearing this the other day, and somebody came up to me and they said, "I love your jacket." And I was like, "Thank you so much." And they said, "I just love Legos." It's a Tetris jacket.
Yes. Wow.
Is anyone else just hearing da 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 da?
That's what I was trying to just play it. Nope, we have to learn it.
Nailed it.
Lego theme song there, Seth? I don't know.
And Seth gives the biggest laugh of the show.
That's right. Doesn't he always, though? I mean, let's think about it. And then, okay, let me finish introductions, and so we can get.
I just changed keys, so.
We're trying to, we're trying to make this more professional here, guys. No, not gonna happen.
Just write down all the songs you want me to learn.
Man with the white background, Mr. Alex Crow.
Hey!
Alex, hi.
You just said
Hi,
hi like a
Billy.
drag queen. What the hell was that?
Hi! Ivy Winters!
And the closest thing we have to a drag queen, Jill Witecki.
I'll take it. It's the best compliment I've gotten all day.
Oh.
The joys of self-quarantine, eh?
Yeah.
The only other compliments we came from the dog, which was,
Hey, I got a kiss from him during the intro.
hey, there you go. There you go. That's a good thing. And speaking of getting kisses, Mr. Eric Hughes.
Yay!
Yay! There he is. He's giving himself a thumbs up. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
And the funniest member of the entire cast, Mr. Seth Keith.
Yay!
With a different piano.
With
I
a
don't
different
know.
piano.
I work on
I
these
know.
things
Wow.
all week, so I need something
Now-
to do.
No. So you built a piano?
Technically, yes.
Got it.
Virtually, yes.
So, as you've probably guessed, this is a very loose kind of show, and we have all kinds of things that we say. We've already said dirty words, but I think it's important that we do give a disclaimer for people who are listening or watching for the very first time, and even those who are returning. So, what we're going to do is, in true wit style, we are going to give you not only one disclaimer, but three. We're going to start with a good disclaimer, and here to give you a good disclaimer about our show is Alex Crow.
Hi, everybody. Welcome again to WITticisms, the Wit Improv podcast. There's been a lot going on this week and in the world and in Tampa and everywhere. So we want to kind of give a disclaimer that we're all going to have different opinions on that. They are our own opinions. And we hope some of you can agree with us and come along on this journey of conversation. And if we offend you, we truly apologize. And please let us know in the comments, and we'll try to do better next time.
That was a very good disclaimer.
Oh my
Very good disclaimer. It all goes downhill from here, folks, because now it's time for a bad disclaimer. And the bad disclaimer is coming from Billy.
Well, welcome again to WITticisms, a wit improv podcast. It's also on YouTube. Wit Improv is a short form improv group from the Tampa Bay area. So when in Tampa, we've been together for about 15 years now, since 2005. But honestly, if you don't like this podcast, that's fine. Podcasts are stupid, and you're stupid. Thank you.
I think that should be the name of our show. Podcasts are stupid, and you're stupid.
Stupid.
We're changing the name of the show. And now for the worst possible disclaimer for us to start a show with, here's Jill.
Look, we're going to say whatever we want to say, and if you don't agree with it, if it offends you, we're just going to come back tomorrow and say we were being sarcastic.
It was an allegory. It was an allegory, I swear. No, it wasn't. You don't know what that word means.
Man sends humanity to man.
I'm a loner, Daddy.
That's actually a great segue into our first topic of discussion, and that is the past week. It's been a week since we've all gathered into our little boxes, and just before the show, we were all sharing good news that a lot of folks are starting to receive money in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the government's slowly getting in step with what it should be.
I don't want to say anything, against Florida or DeSantis or anything that's going on, because I haven't actually received the money yet, and I'm a little scared to say the wrong thing because I don't know if he can
dude.
and not give it to me. But
You think he's one of our 3 listeners?
I don't
It
know.
would explain
what
the
he's doing with his
unemployment.
time. He's not sending me my check, so I don't know what he's doing with his time. He might be watching us.
Hey, Vinny, I think he may actually be watching us, so Governor DeSantis, please send Vinny Natali his check. Look what he is reduced to wearing.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know that Governor DeSantis and Donald Trump had a meeting today where they got to meet here in Tampa, and they got to talk for quite a while. And I went into watching that meeting going, the government, the national government has done a better job with getting checks out than the state of Florida has. In the state of Florida, I heard 4% of the people had their unemployment checks go out. That number went up to 6% last week. I don't know where we are yet, but there's a serious issue going on with Florida getting its checks out. And the national government had done better with everyone in the country than Florida did getting, let's say, unemployment checks out during the last few weeks. This is just my opinion, but I'm a little surprised that it has been as hard as it has been to get that out. I feel like the money was there, it was allocated for this, but it's just not going out in the right way.
Yeah, I kept watching that meeting and thinking, where's Curly?
I only watched a little bit of that meeting, and what it proved to me beyond a shadow of a doubt is that we could all be politicians because we can interrupt each other.
I thought we do that already.
I think
We would be
we're
far
all
more
talking
entertaining.
all at the same time we talk.
Yeah, we can just record these
Quiet at
shows
the same
and
time.
pass them off as policy afterwards. Yeah.
So who wants to be president? Who wants to be governor?
Can I be the Betsy Davos of our group?
I'll just be the sound guy.
What does your collection of scarves look like? I want to be Dr. Burks.
I want to be
Amazing
CJ
neck
Craig.
ring.
What did CJ Craig have in West Wing? What was her job? Is anybody a West Winger?
She was the press secretary.
Press
Yeah.
secretary. I want to be the press secretary.
There you go.
If
When
we're
we were in
picking,
Key West, I saw a novelty badge that said "Titty Inspector." Can I get that one?
that's you, Billy. That's you. That's an official position now.
Thank
In
you.
our
That's a
new
cabinet
world.
position if ever I heard one.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and they were saying that when we come out of this, even when everything's done, nothing's going to be the same again. We are entering into a new world. People who are sitting at home, working from home, teaching their kids from home, some people aren't going to want to go back to the old way. We
Yeah.
don't know what it's going to look like in a few months.
This is this generation's 9/11. You know, and to a degree, it's gonna.
Only it's lasted significantly longer, and
Yeah.
people have made comparisons not just to 9/11, and I've made comparisons. Well, earthquake. I've made comparisons to.
Oh, there's a new one.
I've made comparisons to 9/11. I've made comparisons to the AIDS epidemic. What it really is more like.
Oh, Harbor.
Actually, what it's more like is a war, because world wars, go on for years, and people survive them. And and now everybody's talking about how quickly we should get back and start reopening. And I am all for. Don't misunderstand me. I am all for reopening. I really am. But when I on the few times that I've gone out, where I put on my mask and my rubber gloves and bathe in hand sanitizer, and then go out to grab the basic supplies with a baseball bat with a spike in it so I can beat off the zombies and all that sort of stuff.
You're beating off zombies. Sign me up for zombie school.
You're my favorite little zombie, Alex. So, but when I look around,
That's not hand sanitizer.
And there's the WIT crew I know and love.
There we are.
but I'm the only one who is wearing a mask when I go out. 70 to 80% of the people are not doing jack shit when it comes to taking care of things. So, and that's when we're under a safer at home order. So just imagine what's going to happen when somebody in government, not to mention any names, but when someone in government says, okay, everything's fine.
Right.
Well, that happened, and people have been buzzing around my neighborhood all the time, in cars everywhere, doing whatever they want.
I live by the highway. The traffic has not slowed down. It has not changed since we've been in the stay-at-home order. Now, I will assume that, people are doing the 1950s thing and go, hey, let's go out for a drive.
I did that with my family. I just wanted to go see what everything looked like closed down. We drove down 7th Avenue in Ybor, and it's kind of neat to see it as a ghost town.
We drove up to the airport to look at planes.
I've done the same thing, but not every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Not enough to create traffic on the highway.
There's definitely less traffic, when I was still having to go into the office, I was there in 10 minutes, but, it made me think that maybe after this, people will say, maybe instead of trying to funnel millions of dollars into transportation solutions, we might just have people be able to work from home more days a week and things like that. I was like, but I think there will be a lot of changes after this, for sure.
There's going to be more to that, though, because a lot of like full-time people, they're working at home. That's all well and good. But what about, workman's comp? Someone, trips and falls in their kitchen. How do you, there's going to be.
Minnie's laughing because it's going to be him.
And he'll be waiting for his check, and he won't want to say anything.
If any of us are going to trip over our kitchen and fall down, it's going to be
Right.
me.
There's going to be new rules.
I did pull off a blade of my. I got a new vacuum cleaner. I actually pulled the blade off of that fan behind you. You can see it way up there. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a vacuum
Were you
cleaner.
vacuuming the ceiling?
No, I was trying to get the dust off the blades, and the damn thing fell right off.
That's some great suction.
Wow.
That $300 vacuum cleaner.
Fan wasn't
so-
on, was it?
No,
Yeah. Hey, some silver lining in the news this week, though. Kim Jong-un may be dead.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What a sad
don't
state of
know.
affairs when that's the silver lining.
Right? Just his fingers off the button for a little bit at least, so that's good.
Again, maybe.
He's gonna be like, "Psych, Kim Jong, whatever."
Well, I'm sure the current occupant's going to say he received a wonderful letter from him.
Right?
No, we're going to have a total Kaiser Soze moment and find out 10 years from now that he was alive this whole time.
Yeah.
It'll be a magic trick done by Dennis Rodman to reveal he's back to life.
And he walks with a limp all the time.
Or a very Weekend at Bernie's kind of thing from here.
That was
on
my
out.
favorite
That
meme
meme?
about Kim Jong-un.
Have you seen that meme with Kim Jong-un at Weekend at Bernie's?
No.
They've actually done a meme of him.
I did see that, yes.
Oh.
Everything's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good. No, it's not.
And the first narrowly racist comment of the day comes from Scott
Did
Swenson.
the wrong accent.
Listen,
What a shocker. The fact points out racism. Got it. Yeah. So, there's what else has gone on this week? Anything else? Alex, you were the ray of sunshine there. What other?
Well, there's all those protests going on with the people actually out fighting the stay-at-home orders, which is just completely backwards, in my opinion.
I just saw
I get it.
before we started taping today that the leader of the North Carolina protest just tested positive.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I think if you go out and protest, you're going to have to lick 3 people around you. I think that should be the rule.
Well, there was a joke letter going around where they were saying if you're going to protest, you have to sign it, which basically says you waive any responsibilities to the government, to your state, to the hospital if you come down with it, which I was like, that's kind of funny, but I wish they did have to sign that.
Yeah.
Well, and my whole thought is if they're going to do it, that's great. Do it. And then be quarantined for 14 days.
Right.
It better be a long protest. The 14-day march.
Well, and then have you all paid any attention to what Sweden's doing?
What,
I've
flooding
seen a
the,
little
flooding
bit,
the
but I don't
media
know
with
nothing.
good news?
Nothing. They're just
Right.
They're
I think they
doing
didn't close that at all.
nothing. They're just letting it run its course. And their scientists are saying that within a month, everybody that's going to have it is going to have it. And that's going to be the end of it.
In the big
But they go
picture
to the
of
sun all the time.
that's what's going to happen with us, though. In the big picture, over the course of years, it will make its round like any other virus, and it's just going to happen slower with us. That's all.
The interesting thing, though, is in Sweden, from what I understand, they have a very different social structure or social interaction than we do. They're already much bigger into working from home, into telecommuting.
Right.
Mainly because in the winter in Sweden, you can't travel. It's cold as hell. So, but seriously, they're much more into that. They're much more into the open air and the outdoors. There's much less closed environment where, you can sneeze and infect 15 people. I'm sorry?
The virus is like, mind if I infect you, please? And they're like, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
A lot of
Don't
it has
come into the store. You build your own furniture.
to say a lot of it has to do with those delicious little fish too. So
Well, and they do have, when you enter Sweden, the doctors just give you this little tool that is sort of like a screwdriver and sort of like a wrench and not really like either, and it cures you.
yeah. And they also fix you a great meal. With the food and what you know about order. And all that spaghetti.
And over there,
Oh.
it's called Fjärven. No one knows what the hell it is.
No, they don't even know. And by the way, I did do a Swedish accent, so I guess that could be racist too, because any accent you do now is racist. So
yeah, we're having a heck of a show so far with the racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week.
yeah, I'm sure we'll get some.
That's higher. It's not racism.
I pray we get
Excuse me, as
Swedish.
I was impersonating a Muppet.
They're litigious as hell.
Well,
though.
then the Muppet is racist.
Sorry, Swedish chat. We love you.
Love you, Sweden.
They don't like the term Muppet anymore. They now prefer Fabric American.
Yes.
American.
Remember that great show, Greg the Bunny? It lasted like
Yeah.
months. It was such a funny show, and it kind of had that vibe.
Aigit. That was my favorite character. I loved Greg the Bunny. It was brilliant.
We
Did
was,
I-
we would,
I have every episode on digitally. I love it.
we would watch it backstage between shows during Captain Kangaroo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, back in the that break room.
That was small.
It was about the size of this Zoom page.
Did someone just shit their pants? What was that?
Dog would be ruling right now.
Guard dog thinks he's guard dogging something.
There you go.
What else happened this week?
Perhaps good taste. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. He heard that last joke and went, no.
I think any of us should be able to do that if the last joke really sucked. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else go on in the last week?
No. I mean, same shit, but yeah.
Yeah, worked from home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gas prices are down. That's probably why everybody's driving.
Well, I filled up my tank for $15 today. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I haven't refilled my car, my Honda Fit, since we were cordoned off the 17th. I haven't filled up gas.
Geez, see, I feel like I'm not going anywhere and I'm still filling up once a week.
Wow.
Maybe
We are
gotta-
still talking about gas, right?
Oh, right. Okay, never mind.
Just wondering.
I
You know,
almost feel
there's,
like I should drive more just to buy the gas. Like, and
I
let
almost
gas
bought it
go to the
yesterday, but then I was like, I want rubber gloves or something. I always forget to bring rubber gloves with me if I'm going to handle the...
No, I do have a big thing of Purell in the cup holder of my car.
Me
Like a
as
big,
well. Yeah.
Hand pump every time you get back in the car.
That's a brand new thing in life. Purell in the vehicle. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, it looks like some small businesses are closing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Delicious over in St. Pete.
A
Just saw that one today.
Taiwanese place.
Gators Dockside just announced they're not coming back.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Gators Dockside. They had this great all-you-can-eat Monday wings thing, like and great
Yeah.
wings.
That was
Yeah.
a surprise. I was
The
surprised.
Thai Vietnamese place near our house that we that was struggling already, but was a great place, and we went there yesterday, and they're just not open. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
I know Walk on Bears is still open, and I may be their only customer, but I'm keeping them afloat.
Okay, so I've got a dumb question, totally dumb question regarding restaurants. So many restaurants are doing takeout, doing, curbside pickup. And the one thing we used to get takeout all the time was Chinese food. And all of the Chinese food places in town are closed. None of them are doing takeout. Why?
China Walk on Bears, go.
I think because, again, well, quite honestly, a degree or a form of racism that people are just not wanting to eat Chinese food. You may want to, but
All of them?
a lot of them are like, nope, we're not going to do it. They're just too scared.
Well, I eat at China Walk a lot, and so I actually know the people that own the restaurant. And they actually had a week they shut down.
Mhm.
And so on top of some of that stuff, the kind of racism stuff that people are just not eating there, they had a week where they weren't able to get deliveries for their food. So they shut down for just a week, thank God, but they weren't getting the deliveries. They needed to make sure that they could produce the food they have on their menu.
had it been any longer than a week, Alex would have starved.
Yeah, completely.
But I also think it has something to do with it. So many of the Chinese places are independently family owned.
Mhm.
So I think they have those issues of trying to keep their kids homeschooled, as well as although they're always there snapping peas anyway, so you might as well bring them the lessons as well. That's not racist. That's true.
What is going on?
I love the people at China Walk, but it's been very funny. I've been going there and eating there since college in 2000, and they're little kids I've seen grow up. And since they've been like 5 or 6, they've worked that front counter. Like they're hard little workers, man. They're awesome,
Aw.
They already have their college tuition.
right?
Yeah.
I have a friend from high school who owns a pizzeria. He took it over from his pop, but we would go there after school, in high school, and I hope he's still open. San Remo's Pizza in Apollo Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the small businesses are hurting.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to close, but a lot will come back eventually. I mean, it's just going to be a slow kind of turnaround time.
Well, but the just the financial stress that the people have to go through. Whether the business comes back, it's good for us. The business is back, but what they had to go through to get there was extremely, extremely unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me. I had this discussion with my father-in-law, where the frustration is you go to Walmart, you go to Aldi, you go to the big chains, and they're wide open. There's people everywhere, but the small businesses aren't allowed to be opened. I know they're smaller spaces, but it's kind of like I don't see how Walmart's really abating the transference of the disease. So, like, if they're allowed to be open, why can't a small business still be rocking it?
Which, by the way, you can get deathly ill by going into Walmart at any time.
Anyway.
That's why I don't go there.
Since Walmart sells groceries, that's probably how they're able to get around it.
Dollar Tree did the same thing. They sell food, so they're open.
Well, they sell ammo too, so that some might consider that.
Well, that is on the list of essentials.
Dollar Tree does? Walmart does.
Walmart, not Dollar Tree.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. My Dollar Tree is a little
Wrong
different. It
tag.
sells jump ropes, but that's
Got to
not
know the
it.
password to get the stuff at the Dollar Tree ammo shop.
Apparently.
Can I get a plastic jump rope, some soap bubbles, and some bullets? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I need
I'm the
a-
funniest guy right here.
Can I get the $5.30.6?
But to your point, Alex, I went to Walmart this week. A lot of people got
Not one of these. You got to put the stuff in. It takes a long time.
You're gonna shoot a pirate with that?
All right, Vinny, what were you saying about Walmart?
A lot of people got their checks this week. A lot of people have money coming in. And I went to Walmart this week. The parking lot was packed.
Oh, yeah.
In there, none of the safeguards were in place. They had one-way aisles. They had nobody monitoring the one-way aisle. There was no 6-foot distance between people. It was the Thunderdome in Walmart.
Hey, I want to real quick go on record. I'm going to set my cat down. Did you see that news report?
No.
No.
There was a guy on a at-home business meeting where his cat came into frame, so he kind of loved it up and just tossed it out of the frame. And they're calling for him to be fired for animal cruelty. So that's why I was like, I'm setting my cat down. This was on CNN.
These are people who don't have cats.
Exactly.
Cats will jump off the top of the cabinets onto the ground.
Crazy. There are just so many questions, which is my lame segue into our first game. For those of you who are just listening, Eric just body slammed a sheep.
Prove a point.
It was just
Her name is Allison.
putting my wife
We love her.
Those of you who are just listening, don't you want to go to the YouTube channel now and see what the hell really happened? So anyway, we've got so many questions that we will never answer. However, it is a lame segue into our first game. And this is a game that we have played in our shows many times called Questions. And for this game, we are going to have to divide into 2 teams. And the teams are going to be in this order: me, Billy, and Eric on one team. And on the other team is Alex, Jill, and Vinny. And we're going to start a scene, and everything we say must be a question. If, however, someone says something that is not a question, then the rest of the cast here will go, eh, and the person who screwed up has to bow out, and the next person in the team takes over the scene. All right?
We're staying in that order too. So
In that order, yep.
Dumps in.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're after me, Bill.
Got it.
Eric, you're after Bill.
I'm after Bill.
Okay. And Alex, Jill, and Vinny are smart enough to figure it out on their own. So
We got this, guys. We got this.
yes, our team has to review.
Once Jill gets in, though, no one's gonna.
That's exactly. We can all just go away and take a nap. All right. So since we've been talking so much about it, the scene is shopping at Walmart. It's going to start, I think, with Alex and I. Yes, Alex and I.
What are you here to get?
Have you seen the hand sanitizer?
Is that the clear stuff that smells funny?
Haven't you ever used it before?
Are you standing 6 feet away from me?
Does this look like 6 feet to you?
Don't you think you should back up a little bit?
I have no idea how big this is going to get. Are you wearing a mask?
Sing. No. Go, Vinny, go.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Can I help you find anything?
You work here?
Isn't it obvious?
Why aren't you wearing gloves?
Well, where's you know what?
Is there anywhere here to get ammo?
Are you going to use it to rob us?
Do I look that poor?
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror recently?
Yes.
Didn't you see the arrow on the ground?
Am I too close?
Didn't you realize these are one-way aisles?
Wasn't I going just one way?
You call that one way?
He's on our team, dude.
And it was a question.
That's true.
Don't you think you've been here too long?
Aren't you standing too close?
You want me to back up?
Could you?
Could you get out in front of the toilet paper?
What am I doing in the ladies' room?
What are you doing in the ladies' room?
That's a great question.
Hey, where's that guy with the Legos on his jacket?
Wasn't he up front somewhere?
What are you doing in the ladies' room?
Aren't I a lady?
Would you like to show me?
Let me get the guy in the Legos jacket. He'll check it.
Hello. Oh no. What is the question?
Can everybody please get out of the ladies' room?
What happened to the guy in the Lego jacket?
What guy with a Lego jacket?
Didn't you see the guy in the Lego jacket that was just here?
Are you crazy?
Why else would I be in the ladies' room?
Do you have a deficiency in your food intake?
You want to see the shit I just took?
Is that smell?
Does that color look right to you?
Why didn't you do this in the men's room?
You guys have a men's room?
Yes!
Yes.
Does Eric get to play this game at all?
Watching, just watching.
Would you like Eric to play?
Don't you think we should let him?
Think I should leave the ladies' room and let Eric come in?
Could you get me some toilet paper on the way out?
Where's that at?
Didn't we pass it in aisle 7?
I thought aisle 7 was, yeah.
Is that you, Eric?
Is this the ladies' room?
Isn't it nice?
Is that a couch?
Did you notice they painted?
What color is that?
How are you?
Who are you?
Don't you recognize the guy in the Tetris jacket?
What the hell is Tetris?
Are you asking me?
Did you think I was asking the toilet?
Eric, is there anything you're looking for here at Walmart you can't find?
Do you have a UV light injectors?
What do you need a UV light injector for?
Don't you listen to the president?
Did he say something about it?
Don't you know how to treat COVID-19?
Aren't I just supposed to inject myself with... Come on.
Is that anything?
Answer my question. You were on a roll.
Have you seen the new reports from the president about how to deal with this whole situation?
Where can I find it?
Is it on the internet?
Have you been to a site, www.conspiracytherapy.com?
Have I?
Don't you find it to be accurate?
Nope.
And that's a game we call questions. So I let it go on long enough so Eric could actually play.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And play he did.
And play he did. Play he did. Well, it's so funny because, we talked about the only reason that Walmart was able to stay open was because they actually sold food. I will say that there is a gift shop that is in every mall that I won't mention by name that actually tried to pull that only because they sold candy at the counter. So it didn't work. They were not an essential business, but it was interesting.
Because nobody actually needs blacklight posters or
Dildos.
press on tongue rings.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, is the Todd open?
They open for specific time frames.
And what are those time frames, Alex? You clearly know them.
They were open for 5 hours the other day.
All right. Good for
You
them.
always maintain 6 foot distance in the Todd any day of the week.
Yeah, and you want to hand
yeah.
sanitize as soon as you walk out.
And before you walk in.
Edible panties are food.
All right, we're going
Got a
back a
point?
decade with Joe Redner, but wasn't there a 6 foot? There was a 6 foot rule. We used to all have a 6 foot rule.
It was the longest city council meeting ever up to that point, the 6 foot lap dance ban.
The 6 foot lap dance ban.
That's a verbal.
Okay, revelation. Apparently, our government has come up with the battling COVID plan by going to that stripper rule.
That's right.
See?
That's brilliant.
You go back a decade and
Scientists
say the 6 foot rule, it means something completely different.
It's the same.
Florida was way ahead of this thing the whole time.
It's the same rule without the pole and the. So yeah.
See, Joe Redner should have been president. He did run, right?
He ran for mayor, I think,
Mayor,
for
sorry.
something.
or
but,
city council, one of the two.
Hey, once you run for one thing, you can run for president. We've seen that happen over and over and over again. And sometimes you can actually win.
Yeah.
And speaking of the president, I was trying to make reference to this. It's something I heard about. Did Donald Trump suggest that people inject themselves with disinfectant? Is that something that happened, or is that a bit?
He was
Yes.
questioning out loud.
What was he doing?
He was musing. He was working through some information that he had seen out loud in front of the cameras during a national press briefing.
He connected the dots in an odd way.
Yeah. What I had understood is that he had recently had a conversation where he overheard someone say that a disinfectant kills it on surfaces in 30 seconds. And so then during a press briefing, he decided to turn to his medical staff and, tout his newfound brilliance and say, maybe we should look into maybe injecting and cleaning out the system. So he wasn't telling people to go do it by any direct form. However, several states have already reported an increase in poison control calls after the speech from people who are now gargling with and drinking things like Lysol and bleach.
Isn't that a form of Darwinism, though? I mean, I'm not to be a dick, but
Well, it's the same people who are trying to cure their children of autism and whatnot saw bleach and whatnot drinking as a way to solve that. So it's not a new remedy. It's been out for a while.
It has, but is it Darwinism? I suppose, but I would say it's forced Darwinism because of the chimp that's in the White House. But it's
right up there, isn't it? Right up there with the screen the screen for your car, for the sun screen, and on the inside it says "Do not operate car with screen on in the windshield." Isn't that contents of the cup? It's really litigation. In this specific point, it's not about litigation. This is about someone hearing something and I'll try that.
Well, I guess my point is not so much that people are going to listen to it and say, yeah, I'm going to go do that because the president said to. There's enough of that going on already. But I think that in this particular case, it just shows how out of touch this man is, and how the fact that he is clearly not putting two and two together with the experts that he has. You know, he's, I don't know. I think it's more dangerous the fact that it was said than it has been with the reaction.
Oh, definitely dangerous it was said, but for it to be followed is even more scary.
That's good.
Have you watched?
I didn't have any disinfectant. I just injected myself with Pledge. I have lemon Pledge, so I think I'll be fine. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lemon corpse.
Contrary,
Contrary,
explaining your luster today.
Yeah,
your coat is
looking
shiny.
shiny, my friend.
Oh yes.
Contrary to popular belief, we have plenty of lemon Pledge.
Yes.
See, I didn't do the character from Family Guy voice, so.
Of course, there'll be egg on all of our faces when in 20 years all diseases are cured by the Lysol Corporation.
See?
Yeah.
I will welcome that day.
It was serious enough, however, that Lysol did have to put out a press release saying, "Do not use it to cure COVID-19."
Do not inject Lysol. All right. Thank you, Lysol.
Again, that's probably for litigation purposes, but yeah.
Well, it's no different than any commercial. You know, you see somebody being shot out of a cannon, and there'll be a little thing down in the corner that says, "This is a professional. Don't try this at home."
Right.
Which bothers me because I keep trying to find, where did they get that cool cannon?
Ask a
Well,
professor.
and the bottom line of a lot of what we've said here today is that if we could really trust everybody to make good decisions, then we'd be fine. We'd be a much different place as a country if we could just trust that people are going to make decisions that are in their own best interests, in their community's best interests, in the nation's best interests. And we can't, because people are dumb and they make dumb decisions and they do dumb things. And here we are.
Yep. It all comes down to education.
Oh, this got really serious.
Hey, comedy! Come on, Seth. Hit us with a one-liner.
I mean, I think psychologists always, I think one thing they definitely know is that people make decisions based on emotion, even when they think they're making a rational decision. It's almost always an emotional decision people are making, you know, and it just overrides rationality. So people are total wild cards.
Especially after being locked in the house with their family for the last 50
Yeah, I will do
days.
anything. I will drink bleach to get out of here. It works.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Wit Improv and Witticisms say do not drink bleach.
Nothing.
Yeah, do not drink bleach or inject it.
That was sarcasm.
Lemon Pledge.
Lemon Pledge.
Yes.
Not bleach.
Vinny
Well-
Vitale says.
No, lemon shandy. Drink that instead. That will fix.
Nice.
Well, you know what? Let's move from the ridiculous to the sublime. Let's create some art here, folks. Okay? Actually,
No, I know what's next in the game list, and it's not art, but okay, let's do it.
well, let's try at least. This was a request. This was a request, actually not from a listener, but actually from a cast member. Alex said, "Hey, let's do a very serious scene because we don't
Yeah,
have
because he doesn't have to play it.
Yeah.
I love watching it though.
So this is a game where Jill and I will attempt to improvise a very serious scene.
We should have done it with this last conversation.
I know. But we will try to improvise a very serious scene, and Billy will act as our director. And each time either we crack up or we make one of the other members of the team laugh, Billy will stop us, and we then have to partake of a very unusual punishment, which involves marshmallows.
Yes.
So we will have to place however many marshmallows in our mouths that Billy deems necessary and try to continue the scene. Now, we were concerned that this might not play for our podcast audience, but trust me, you'll hear it. You'll hear it in our voices. And those of you watching may actually see us spew marshmallow goo onto our keyboards.
I just, you know what we've never talked about is how much this game makes your teeth hurt.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Just imagine holding a mouthful of sugar. Now, Alex requested the show, and now he leaves.
And then he left.
Yeah.
You
He
can't
requests this game, and then he leaves.
He always leaves to the best parts.
I know.
Stop.
All right. Oh, he's
I'm sad
back
I should
now.
have gotten marshmallows for myself.
Somebody said teeth hurt, and he went and got another Coke. All right. So, Billy, since you are our director, I'm going to let you decide what this serious scene is about. You can decide as Jill and I make sure that everyone knows these are real marshmallows.
And you guys do have a receptacle for afterwards, right?
I usually swallow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why she's married, ladies and gentlemen.
And scene. All right.
Take note, ladies. All right. Wow. Let's see. We are a couple discussing.
Does anyone else smell burning, or is that just me?
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize it was gonna. Okay, this is going to be a couple discussing their finances due to the current quarantine.
Great one.
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
Babe, I don't know. The computer is saying that we're going to get the check on Thursday, but you know, it said last week we were going to get it Monday, and it just keeps changing the deadline. I don't know what we're going to do.
But okay, but at least we're getting at least some step closer. At least we're able to log into the site. You know, I mean, for the last month, we haven't even been able to get into the damn site.
I know, but if we have to keep waiting, I mean, there are bills due, and if we don't have this money in our checking account in the next couple of days, there's going to be deadlines coming and going that we can't meet.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, hopefully the governor, I mean, let's face it, he's been so good about everything else. Hopefully he'll be able to keep this thing moving forward.
Cut.
What?
It's your face. You're
Sorry,
doing that thing
genetic.
with your face.
Yeah. What am I doing with my face?
That thing where you're lying and everybody knows you're lying, but you're trying to be serious.
And you get that weird smirk. You know, don't do that. One each. Go.
Oh.
One each? What did I do?
And action.
I have full confidence in the government. I'm certain that they will be able to take care of absolutely all of our needs.
Are you crazy? Have you been
What?
paying attention to the news?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you been paying attention to the news?
Well, yes, but I mean, these are elected officials. It's a difficult time. This is unprecedented. We just have to be patient and everything.
I know. And everybody's making it up as they go along, and that's becoming really, really evident.
Well, but what else can we do? I mean, we have to trust in the government. They've done everything they possibly could to make this work beautifully.
You know
All
what?
the way from the top down.
Then we need to figure out how to do it from the bottom up. Not like that. Get
Cut.
out of the gut.
Cut. You just can't keep a straight face, can you, buddy?
Sorry.
Have you met the guy?
You're never going to get your equity card like
Not a
this.
straight thing about him.
Right? And you, young lady, you've evidently swallowed. Go.
Multiple times, I'm certain.
2 each.
2.
2.
You're nuts.
Uno, dos. 2 each. You think people are ever going to pay for this podcast? We're going to stay free as long as you guys keep fucking around like this, all right? And action.
So I think our only option is to figure out a way to bring in some more money. Stop relying on people to send us checks that may or may not ever get here.
How about DoorDash?
You're gonna go drive for DoorDash?
You have to drive?
Cut. This is not question. What is with... I can't take this anymore. 2 each. Let's go. You got to get this right. This is your last chance. And action.
I really think they're not here. Look.
Beautiful.
I'm the best one.
I agree. I'm like, you want to walk? You become black cats?
No.
I love that. We can become dancers because
A streetwalker. I don't know. Is anybody
And
doing
that's the game we call Serious Scene.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Eating the marshmallows out of the bag while you guys are doing that.
Wow.
Marshmallows.
God.
That was nice.
I have to go brush my teeth now.
Yeah.
Five? 5 or 6? 5?
Wow.
Oh, no, at least 7 or 8.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's
feel
gross,
that.
Scott.
2,
Ew.
3,
Ugh.
4, 5 marshmallows.
5. Yeah, it was 5.
If you're watching on YouTube, that was Scott flashing back to his club days.
Hey.
Okay.
A bad magic trick. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, we've all had a chance to share.
I'm so ready.
Billy and I shared similar club days. That's different clubs. So we've spent a lot of time ranting about our own personal desires and frustrations, but now it is time to do it in a structured manner, because this is the point of our show where one of the members gets to just rant and we have to shut up. So, Eric, what is on your mind? Tell us.
Why are people going to the beach? Too early to go to the beach. I understand we all feel pent up. We all feel like Big Papa Heavy Hand is standing on our neck telling us what we can't do, and we don't like it. We want to do what we want to do, and I want to go to the beach. But so does half of the city, half of the state, people from out of state. They want to go to the beach too, and they are just disease bags. I can't believe people are lining up to hang out with a bunch of disease bags they don't even know. They're come here disease bags. This doesn't make any sense. And if everyone would just wait a little bit, we could all go to the beach. And I mean the nudist beach too. You don't want to go to the nudist beach with some germed up sucker from Alabama. You just give it some time, everybody. Give it some time. We'll all get to the beach together. We'll all sing Kumbaya. We'll all live happily ever after. But if you jump the gun, then the beach is going to be more like a zombie apocalypse movie. And it just doesn't make any sense. So please, use the kiddie pool in the backyard for the time being. Just like me. I got my kiddie pool in the backyard. I'm enjoying it. I'm not exposed to any risk. I'm practicing swimming. I'm ready to go to the beach the first day it's safe to do so. Don't jump the gun, people. Why you gotta be crazy? I know. Don't act like kids just because someone's telling you can't. That's all I can say. That's all I got to say about that.
You know, there's somebody, one of our 3 listeners is somewhere up north, and they're going, beach? That's an option?
Who's going to the beach? It's cold as hell out there.
Well, they just recently here in Tampa, they opened the beaches for any activity except for large gatherings. That was the new thing that came through this week. And for our visitors from up north, when in Tampa, do as the tampons do, go to the beach, I guess. That's the new thing. I don't know, Eric. It's I really think it might be a little too early, but you know, I don't have a PhD, so I don't know.
Well, we took a drive over the weekend, and we drove over the Skyway Bridge into St. Pete to go watch the sunset. And as we were driving past what should have been the entrance to those fishing piers that are on either side of the Skyway, the fishing piers are closed. But for miles leading up to them, all of those side of the road sandbanks were just packed with people. Packed with people.
My goodness.
Well,
Real.
as we've just learned, they're not really people. They're just disease bags.
Disease bags.
Bags.
They're out there.
Interesting that the pier was closed because when you're fishing, you can't stand 6 feet next to
Right?
somebody.
It would be very easy to socially distance on a fishing pier.
that would be the easier than I thought.
I think it would be
than normal.
required to socially distance.
Yeah, I think
on a
that's
fishing pier.
you
So
never
as
see-
not to your neighbor.
Yep.
Anyhow, I just-
Yep. Well, thank you, Eric, for sharing your thoughts and your points of view. We have gone on long enough, and before we lose Alex to run off to the beach like he did last episode, we are going to dive right into our Irish drinking song, which is our traditional way of ending every single one of our shows. And today's Irish drinking song, or this episode's Irish drinking song, is all about marshmallows.
Yeah.
Oh, Heidi, 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 Heidi. I went to the grocery.
And I got me some mallows.
It was so toasty.
I shared them with my fellows.
And when my mouth was filled up,
I thought that I'd gone south.
And then I stuck them in my mouth.
That was you, Eric.
It was me. I'm so sorry.
now I am so tired.
I didn't know which one was good.
This is the
So
dance
lost.
break.
And we'll start
This
with
is in
Eric.
karaoke where
Next
it
one.
says
Go, Eric,
16
go.
bars, and we're all just nodding
Oh,
along. Oh.
Eric, go!
They're so white.
And everybody froze. Everybody froze but me.
Eyes.
And so I will eat them.
I will eat them up.
And then I will throw them in a fire.
And wrap this whole song up.
And
wrap this
song up.
Wow.
American dogs are going.
You know, there's a lot of things that work well in Zoom, and this is not one of them.
No. But I'll tell you, everybody froze in the middle of that screen while I.
Happened to me too.
So we'll see what happens in the video and in the recording. Until next time, this is the cast of from WITticisms, the podcast. Bye.
Alex left, but we gained a cat.
I'm a superhero running through the rain. Spent $500 just a trick to tell me I'm insane. I jumped off my roof because I thought that I could fly. Spent 3 days in the hospital alone because I had to try. I still don't know why. I'm running around chasing this dragonfly. I still don't know how. I woke up this morning with only one eyebrow. I think that my mind's a little defective. Caught up in the everyday traffic of different perspectives. Well, I need someone to call my own. Someone to help me get out of this twilight zone. I think it could be you. The look in your eyes is telling me it could be true. But if you want me to be your Romeo, well, I can't do that, but I can always be your very own superhero. You be my Lois Lane, I'll be